The party headed down the long hallway and walked for what seemed like hours, but they had no way of knowing how much time had passed. They clicked a few more red buttons along the way, seeing a floating black orb cascaded in shadow, a miniature flowing stream of water, with a grass floor, and a mermaid. After even longer, they eventually came to an intersection, and they noticed something different near the ceiling along the wall. The once purple painted line, when it reached the intersection, branched off into different colors depending on which hallway they accompanied. In this particular intersection, it branched off into blue, yellow, and red. After some discussion, Popa and Hayden agreed to investigate the blue hallway to the left, and Jace chose the red hallway to the right. If they didn't meet back at the intersection in 10 minutes, or what felt like 10 minutes, then they would seek the other out. And the party split up. Popa and Hayden headed down the blue hallway to the left for a short distance before they arrived at a set of double doors that looked like they swung in and out freely. After cautiously peeking inside, they didn't see or hear anyone, so they proceeded forward. They found what looked like a small empty cafeteria with around 8 to 10 tables in neat rows to their right and left. Every inch of the walls and floors were the same, pristine color of reflective white and porcelain. They investigated the room and came across an ID card attached to a lanyard on the ground, and upon reading it found Dr. Joseph Burns, with a picture of a bearded man with dark hair and a shadowy expression on his face on the front. Hayden and Popa assumed he was just a scientist or employee at this mysterious facility, and pocketed the card before investigating further. Meanwhile, Jace proceeded down the opposite hallway to the right, the one color-coded with the red stripe along the wall. After walking down the hallway for a little longer than the previous group, he came across a single door at the end of the hallway. In the distance, they could see a sign on the front of the door, and as they approached the sign read, "Custodian's Office." Just as soon as they got close enough to read the sign, Jace became instantly aware of a commotion behind the door. Now completely alert, they paid close attention and listened for another noise, which was soon to follow. Another, and another, something seemed to be moving around on the other side of this door, with the occasional bang and clang. Jace prepared an attack, and slowly approached the door to investigate, and it wasn't long until the door swung open, and something came shooting out of the doorway, broom in hand. A 3 or 4 foot tall figure made impact with Jace's body, pushing both of them back a foot down the hallway. When Jace gathered their bearings, they saw what seemed to be a carelessly constructed robot with a television for a head, communicating in only clips and random snippets of television shows and news broadcasts from what seemed to be Earth. On the right side of his chest, a bolted-on name tag read, "Smallscreen." As both Jace and Smallscreen stared at each other, Smallscreen opened a panel on the side of his head and clicked a button, sounding off an ear-piercing alarm that rang out throughout the entire hallway. Panicked, Jace quickly and charismatically befriended the small robot and sprinted towards the intersection from before, hoping to reunite with Hayden and Popa before the Wellness Foundation beat them to it. Unfortunately, the alarm seemed to be ringing throughout the entire facility.